And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for all the toy news, action figure news of the week that interested me, that hopefully interests you in another big week. You keep thinking things are going to die down a little bit with San Diego Comic-Con literally next week. Oh no, we got a ton of San Diego Comic-Con announcements, plus other toy announcements this week. So a very busy week on the toy news front. Of course, like I said, San Diego Comic-Con a week away. There is going to be so much news out of the next week. It's going to make our head spin. Some may say our head may spin, but we'll see what happens there. Of course, you guys know I will be over there in San Diego Comic-Con, checking it all out, and fully expect many a video around San Diego Comic-Con. I'm going to try to hit a lot of the different panels. I'll be at a few different events while I'm out there that we'll talk about when I do get back, and we'll just see what happens out there. And of course, tons of exclusive figures. Fingers crossed I can nail some of those. We'll see what happens with that one. But me being in San Diego next week, I don't think there's going to be a toy news video per se next week. I think there'll be a lot of news videos throughout the week, and then of course a recap after. So long story short, just don't expect a toy news video next Saturday, as I will be in San Diego. But there'll be plenty of content, there'll be plenty of videos, panels, things like that. I'll get as much details as I can for everybody while I'm out there, of course, as you guys know. So don't expect that. And then weekly purchases next week, probably the same thing. I'll probably do a weekly purchases maybe on Monday or Tuesday next week. We'll see what happens once I get back into town and re-bear myself, get back in the mood, get back in the shuffle of everyday normal life. Of course, a busy work life as well. I'll have to get caught up on as much as I possibly can, as quick as I possibly can. So a lot of stuff coming here in the next couple of weeks. So just an FYI out there. But let's dive into the toy news of the week. Of course, we always start with a little housekeeping. Of course, Patreon, the July giveaway for Patreon. We got old Seth Rollins Ultimate Edition. That is the giveaway this month. So if you want to be a Patreon member, check out all the details over on the Patreon. Well over 100 plus videos, probably 200 videos really at this point over there on Patreon that are not on traditional YouTube. Growing every single day, as we do know, and plenty of content to come as well over the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned to that. Thank you for the Patreon members out there. But now let's dive into all the toy news. We got a lot to cover here today. And today, let's start it off. We did do a recap video on the channel this week, as officially announced this week via Mattel, and going up on Mattel Creations next week, the end of next week, I think Friday, what is that, the 21st? Going up for sale, going up for pre-order is the Muhammad Ali San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. An interesting one, no doubt about it. Some people are all in, some people are all out, some people are in the middle, pretty much like everything else out there. But some people are easily passing on this, and I don't know if they have quite the FOMO of the Sergeant Slaughter or the No Holds Barred with Zeus. I don't know if it hits those buttons for everybody, because this isn't necessarily a wrestling figure, especially the boxing gear Muhammad Ali there. I guess the Inoki part of it there, but of course he's remembered more in that boxing attire for boxing, as you can imagine. And of course the referee is a good one. Going to be great for customs if that's what you want to do, but of course representing WrestleMania 1. But it is a fun exclusive, and I really do think it is a perfect exclusive, as I don't think it would set the world on fire out at traditional retail. I just honestly do not. Thinking from past mass retail releases of Muhammad Ali. But you know, it's all about scarcity, it's all about production quantities, things like that. But this is a good San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. There's no doubt about that one. And we will be unboxing that on the channel here. So if you want your Ali and you're not going to San Diego Comic-Con, head over to Mattel Creations. But remember, if it does sell out over there, we've seen in the past a couple of weeks later, WWE.com a lot of times does sell these. And then Ringside, they might be selling some of these as well. So just know there's other chances. Don't go crazy if you miss out. We'll see what ends up happening there, because I do expect it will sell out. Anything like that will eventually sell out. It's not a mass retail release, as we always talk about. Now, the one I'm really concerned about, and I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con, it is the 1 of 1,000 Sting figure. There's only going to be 1,000 of them, and it is Sting from, what, Quake on the Lake or something like that, I think, when he was an AEW, of course, and it is another paint-by-number Sting in a lot of ways. We do get a soft goods shirt. You do get the bat accessory. You do get a little coffin action with it. So there's a few bells and whistles. The coolest thing seems to be the packaging design on this. I really do like that. But it is only $1,000. It is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. No word as of now if it'll be online, if there's any left over or what. I would expect there won't be any left over, I would imagine. And I know a lot of people are complaining, oh my gosh, why would they do this? Why would they make Sting an exclusive? Well, take that business step back. This Sting isn't terribly different than some of the other Stings we've already had. There's no denying that. So this isn't for everybody at the end of the day. Can you imagine how much people would be losing their mind if this was the first incarnation of Surfer Sting in the AEW Jazwares line? Can you imagine if people would lose their mind? People are losing their mind now. It would be even worse there. But it's an exclusive. It is a pain. Of course, last year they did do Brody Lee. It just kind of is the way of business. And if you guys remember the old Jax days, be it Ruthless Aggression, Classic Superstars, this isn't unheard of. At least there's 1,000. A lot of times it was 1 of 100. So you can imagine the pain of younger Kyle back in the day saying, there's no way I'm going to get this. There is absolutely no way, and there was no way I was going to get this. So this one, at least there's a better chance out there. I definitely want one. I would love to have 2. I doubt that's in the cards, but I would love to have 1 to open and 1 to leave in package. We'll see what happens, but that is a cool reveal. You know I'm a Stinger at the end of the day, so I'm here for that. But I know a lot of people are going to be mad because they miss out on this one. But once again, be patient. Eventually, those Brody Lees going for about $100 on eBay. I don't know what'll happen with this Sting there, but you got to remember, I've had a lot of people personally reach out to me and say, hey, and people I've never talked to in my life, they've sent me a message, hey, I know you're going to San Diego Comic-Con. Could you pick me up one of those Stings? I will pay shipping. Man, you got to think about that kind of stuff. First off, I don't know who you are, so like that's a big ask right there. But at the end of the day, even for friends out there, it's like, hey, it's probably limit 1 per person. You're probably going to have to wait in line for an hour plus, who knows. But also, the cost of going to San Diego Comic-Con is very expensive. So to say, hey, you're going on this trip, you're paying your hotel, your airfare, your rental car, your meals, all this stuff, spending a ton of money already out there to sit there and wait in line, that's a pretty big ask for anybody out there. So I know there's a lot of people wanting to help people out and stuff, and I always like to help out. I wish I could help everybody out. It's just not possible. There's just not enough time. But it's definitely going to be an interesting one. But definitely remember, hey, there's a lot more cost involved in this. And for the people complaining, saying it shouldn't be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, well, if you were going to San Diego Comic-Con just to get this, well, it ends up being like a $3,000 payment for this Sting figure. So if you can get it off eBay for $200, honestly, are you money ahead? That's something to think about. It's all about convincing yourself at the end of the day. But that's kind of my Steiner math in my head a little bit with that one there. But moving on for more wrestling stuff, if things weren't busy enough with San Diego Comic-Con and all these exclusives we're going to be talking about, next week, Walmart Collector Con begins on Tuesday, Wednesday, once again, right before San Diego Comic-Con. I know what they're doing there. Of course, RVD and Brock Lesnar Ruthless Aggression Era Ultimate Editions will be going up for a pre-order over there. So if you're into those two, pre-order them, have them canceled later, maybe just not ship, maybe find them in the store before they ship, whatever it may be. They are going up next Tuesday and Wednesday over at Walmart, so be on the lookout for those. Some more figures that went on sale Friday. It was the Powertown 2-pack, the first 2-pack from Powertown. $100 price point, Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. I really do like that they put these guys as a 2-pack, and I do like that they put them in their own little semi-wave. It's funny. We talked about this, or I don't even know if the video's out yet, but I did do a final breakdown of Powertown, my final thoughts. It's been on Patreon for a while. It'll be on traditional YouTube eventually. But one of the things I did mention is I like that they're doing this as a bridge in between sets. And I think that's what Powertown, a lot of these companies should do. Hey, here's 6 figures. It's a pre-order window. It takes 8 months, whatever. In between time, release a 2-pack. Release a single pack. Keep poking the fire. Keep it going. Keep your name out there. And that's what Powertown's doing here. Now, the pre-order, I think, goes till the end of August. So you got time. $100 for the 2-pack. The figures look amazing. There's no doubt about it. You could argue, of course, very easily, Powertown's supposed to be classic guys. These aren't classic guys. Well, the end of the day, Matt and Brian, they get a lot of eyes on product, especially action figure products. So Powertown, they're putting that business hat on, and they're saying, hey, we use these two, gets our name out there, makes people more interested in our line, maybe pick up some of the other stuff in the future. It's a win-win for them. So I see what they're doing there. It makes all the sense in the business sense in the world. It's a good one. And $100, I think it's about $10 cheaper if you bought them separately. So that works out. It's a 2-pack. It's in between. I have no issues with this one. I already pre-ordered, so we'll be off to the races before you know it. Sounds like shipping January, February. We'll see. we'll see what happens. I guess that's all you can do at this point. But if you're for Matt and Brian, Powertown, head over to powertownwrestling.com, I think it is. Put in your old pre-order there. Funko announced an exclusive, and they probably announced like 200 exclusives for San Diego Comic-Con. And I don't talk a ton of Funko. I'm not a big Funko Pop guy. It's just really not for me. I dabble. I have a few in my collection, but very, very few. Of course, you guys know. But this one I may pick up if I do see it at San Diego Comic-Con. It is my old boy, my old favorite, Johnny Knoxville, of course, in his wrestling attire. I might have to pick that one up there. I'm a big Johnny Knoxville guy, so I might end up grabbing that. But that will be a Funko San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And speaking of San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, it looks like Zombie Sailor Toys is going to put up next week for pre-order his Bastion Booger figure as an exclusive there. So if you're looking for Bastion Booger like me, this is your chance. So stay tuned to his social media, all that kind of stuff. That will be up for pre-order sooner rather than later. He also showed off this week Nick Gage, a little carded sample of Nick Gage. We do have another Nick Gage coming in the future in a 2-pack with, of course, Matt Cardona. And goes back to what I said about Powertown. In between series, release a single carded figure or a 2-pack to bridge the gaps a little bit. Keep your wares out there for everybody. And Zombie Sailor doing that exact same thing right there. So that's really the wrestling news of the week. Not really else to talk about, but there's going to be a lot to talk about next week. San Diego Comic-Con, of course, Mattel. Wednesday night, we'll see all the new stuff they're showing off. I think we got to take our expectations a little bit back. I don't think we're going to see as much stuff as we saw at WrestleMania, of course, but we will see some stuff, and we will see stuff that we saw renders of at Mania. We'll probably see in action figure form for this one here. No doubt about it. I'm excited to see it, though, at the end of the day. Now, moving on to some other stuff. How about a little Super 7? Of course, the Cat's Lair, Thundercats Lair. It's been talked about for weeks here in this video, and they've been showing teasers. And this week, no exception. They showed teaser videos, or teaser images, I should say, this week as well. But we did hear the price point. It sounds like we're looking at a $650 price point for this one with $100 shipping, around $750. To me, that's a pretty good deal out there. And I said it before. I said, a lot of people said it's going to be over $1,000. There's no way. That $999 $1,000 price point is just not reasonable. People would not pay that, and they would get so much blowback. And I honestly, and like I said in the videos, I don't think it was going to be there, and I'm glad it came in around $750. I think obviously that's expensive. Obviously that's not for everybody, but that's a little bit more palatable than $1,000. There's no doubt about it. I fully expect to see this at San Diego Comic-Con in person. I can't wait to see it, see kind of how it all interacts and everything else. Should be very interesting. If you're a Thundercats fan, this is a holy grail type item. This is a very cool item. It's definitely one that's got my interest. I can't wait to see this. But pre-order, I gotta imagine, will be going on after San Diego Comic-Con, and I do have to imagine there will be quite the window on this. They will have a pre-order window for a certain amount of time. It sounds like if nobody backs it in that pre-order window, it's not going to get made. But obviously, I think you're going to have the Entertainment Earth, the Big Bad Toy Store, some of these other places that buy them. Of course, they'll put their orders in. Then the general public, they'll see where things net out. But I have to imagine this one will get through. It'll be interesting, though. I mean, that high price point equals probably low production run. And this is one of those things down the road, 10 years down the road, man, it's going to be pricey. But as we always do say here, if you're investing in action figures to kind of pad your retirement, I don't know if that's the way. If you pay $700 for a Thundercats layer, sit on it for 10 years, and you make $400 back, was that the best return on your investment? Could you have done better putting that money in your 401k? The deep questions. Call my dad in for that. We'll get my dad. He'll get our financial advice from my dad. He can put it all out here for us if we need to. We'll do Collecting and Investing 101 with Kyle's dad, Tom. There we go. We'll get Tom in here. We'll get that done there. But very, very cool at the end of the day. But we're not done with Super 7. Of course, San Diego Comic-Con Super 7 exclusives. And man, I'm very excited about a lot of these ones here too. It's going to be a very expensive week for old Kyle out there. But San Diego Comic-Con looks like they got a Dragon Zord. An interesting repaint is what this ends up being, but I think I'm going to have to pick this one up. Green Ranger was always my favorite, and the White Ranger as well, so I'll probably be picking this one up, but it is a Dragon Zord. We also saw Godzilla in this one all day long, and I'll talk about it when I unbox it and stuff, the reasons I love the look of this Godzilla. This is the Godzilla I want in my collection, so Super 7 Ultimate Godzilla, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm going to be picking that one up as well. And then they did announce, and I'm very happy about this one. As we remember last year, Super 7 store in San Diego did a G.I. Joe kind of takeover. this year a Cobra takeover. So they're Cobra theming the store. They're going to change all this stuff, and there's going to be 2 Ultimate exclusives on top of exclusive shirts, trading cards, puzzles, things like that. But we're getting 2 repaints of Super 7 Ultimate G.I. Joes. We're getting Baroness and Destro. So these are perfect exclusives. You know, it's one of those ones that they're not the iconic looks. They're easily passed upon. They're just simple repaints for the hardcore fan out there. And as usual, they'll probably be available online, Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, afterwards. So if you need them, you can do that. Just definitely a cool one here for G.I. Joe fans. I'll be picking both those up. Can't wait to see the Super 7 store. I've always wanted to go there. I'll be checking that one out. I'm sure we'll do some video from that as well. But those look pretty cool here, and they're just stuff that you can easily pass on and not be too worked up about. So I think that is a good thing at the end of the day. And then Friday, they get a little tease. It looks like we got a Crimson Guard coming from the Ultimates line for G.I. Joe as well. So that should be a cool one here. Another army builder there. You guys know how that goes. But we should see a lot more of that, I would imagine, at San Diego Comic-Con. We should see a lot of peeks into the future of Super 7 on top of all these other companies as well. So make note of that as well. So then G.I. Joe. How about a little G.I. Joe for San Diego Comic-Con? We finally did hear. We talked about this a while back. There have been rumors it was coming. Well, we're getting a deluxe Chuckles pack for San Diego Comic-Con. Now, Hasbro is doing something that I don't like, but at the same time I like. So I don't know how I feel about it totally. I'm in the middle, I guess. But it's going to be like last year. You get a little QR barcode, you scan that, you do your order, and you get it shipped to you at a later date. That's really not a bad deal if you're on the convention floor and you've got stacks of stuff you're carrying around. It just helps lighten the load a little bit, especially if you're buying the Star Wars, the G.I. Joe, the Power Rangers, whatever it may be from Hasbro. So this one does work. And Chuckles, an all-time favorite of mine. I love a guy in a Hawaiian t-shirt. I love Chuckles in the old G.I. Joe movie. I love the old action figure. You know, the G.I. Joe movie, he didn't get a whole lot of lines, and he was a big brooding dude. Of course, he had a bigger run in the comic books. A lot of people love him from that as well. So this Chuckles would be very interesting. All the accessories with this one here. Even some Easter eggs to the Crimson Guard twins. And of course, the Baroness, a future repaint one. We're thinking about a 3-pack before you know it. Probably Hasbro Pulse Con for that one. But I'm here for this Chuckles one. Definitely a pickup for me. And then we did see some stuff from Walmart Collectors Con. These should be going up for pre-order next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. It is the Night Force. Of course, Target's got the Tiger Force, the best Force, if you ask me. But then you get Night Force over there at Walmart. So once again, repaints coming. Some new versions of characters coming, though, this time here, as we do get Mole Rat. Now, Mole Rat I am not super familiar with. Kind of a zombie-like guy. I love the big drill accessory he has. I guess a bit of an army builder is the way he looks here. So we do got Mole Rat coming. We do got a bit of a deep cut, and I remember her from the G.I. Joe Anniversary 3 3/4 line. It is Shooter. So we are getting Shooter, another female put in the lineup here. And then we're getting the simple repaint, the Crimson Alley Viper to go with your Crimson team, things like that. So we're seeing a repaint of the Alley Viper there. Tuesday, Wednesday next week, Walmart Collectors Con. Who knows when they're going to ship? Maybe end of the year, maybe first of the year. I guess we'll find out next week there. So if you're into some G.I. Joe Classified, you know to do that next week. And of course, the big one, we're just 2 days or so, give and take, left on the Dragonfly. Of course, the Hasbro Pulse crowdfunding going on. Genius, like we talked about with this one. Very smart to have this end right before San Diego Comic-Con, because if this was going on during San Diego Comic-Con, I guarantee some people might cancel their order or just skip on it and say, oh, there's too much other stuff I want. So Hasbro team really playing their cards right up to it, but they did a smart move there. And we did get Glenda this week, so we finally hit the 16,000. Now we got the final push for 19,000. As I film this right now, we're about 16,380 backers. We'll see where that goes. We do have a payday for a lot of people this Friday. A lot of people wait for that final payday. That's just the way it goes. So I think we'll see a little bit of bump on Friday, Saturday. And then, of course, down to the wire, there's going to be a lot of people getting their orders in. Will some of these other companies, toy stores, things like that, buy 5 or 6 of them at the end? That might happen. And we usually see a bit of a push at the end. And why wouldn't you? If you're on the fence, we're very, very close. Crazy Legs is going to be the final guy for 19,000. A lot of people thought Airborne. A lot of people thought Doc. A lot of people thought General Hawk. Crazy Legs from my grandparents' hometown, so he was always a special one to me. It is him in his Night Force look, not his classic look. Maybe down the line we get the classic look. We'll see what happens with that. But I always loved Fort Dodge's own Crazy Legs, a favorite of mine just because he was the only Joe from the state of Iowa, where, of course, I grew up, as we know. So I'm all in. Hopefully we get the Crazy Legs because at this point, if we do hit, it feels like a free add-on in a lot of ways. I think you guys understand the math on that. So we'll see what happens with all Crazy Legs here in the next couple of days. And I guess next time we talk, we'll know the answer and all that kind of fun stuff. But we're not done with San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. Now we turn our attention over to the Marvel Legends side of the fence here, and we do get a Bob and Deadpool 2-pack, a very cool one. Another one that you could have made on your own. Of course, we've had many Deadpools. We've had the Hydra Soldiers in the past. We did get a Bob head back in the day. I made my own Bob and Deadpool in my collection. You've seen it in my videos. But this pack is pretty cool with all the different hands, different accessories. Just a really fun, lighthearted pack. I'm here for this one. I'll be picking this one up from San Diego Comic-Con there. And then we go back to Walmart Collector Con, of course, next week. We did see a few things announced. We are getting the Bucky Barnes cap. We knew that one was coming. We just didn't know exactly when. Well, here is the case. Here is where it's going up. Definitely a pickup for me. I did not have the old one of that, so I definitely need this. But something I had the old one of was the Morbius 6-arm Spider-Man. Honestly, I don't see enough meat on the bone for this one for me to pick up this pack. I have both former versions there. I think if they would have made these animated inspired or cell shaded or something a little bit more different, there's just not a ton of meat on the bone. I think there's a little bit more articulation on the Spider-Man, maybe in the abs, but really a lot, especially when you're asking for $50+. I just don't know. So if I buy this, it'll probably be a long game down the line. We'll see what happens with that. But some people that missed out on those back in the day, that Spider-Man is a very cool figure, a very iconic figure. So if you did miss out on that one, now is your chance to pick that up at a Walmart Collector Con there. So there you go right there. Now we turn our attention, we keep on going. The hits keep on coming like a young Mike Nesmith. And you know what Jerry Reed always says? We've got a long way to go and a short time to go. We're at the home stretch of the toy news video this week, but Mondo coming in hot. We talked about some of these a few weeks back, but I guess they were officially announced this week. But we are getting the Mondo 1/6 scale civilian animated series Wolverine. All in on that. I'm all in on these animated series ones. As much as my wallet doesn't like it, I will definitely pick up this Wolverine. And then we're getting a Magneto. Not enough meat on the bone for me on Magneto. We just unboxed that Magneto on the channel a month ago, 2 months ago. What is time, as we do say. But it's got some color changes, a different head. But at that price point of $200+, there is not enough meat on the bone for me to pull the trigger on that Magneto. If it was like, Marvel Legend or something, had different heads, some different effect pieces, and it's like $25, okay, maybe I'll pick that one up. But at the 200 some price point, not going to happen for me. So I'm picking up the Wolverine, passing on the Magneto, but they also announced a Batman animated series, ManBat, a very iconic look to ManBat. When I close my eyes before I hit the pillow at night and I think of ManBat, like a lot of us do, this is the ManBat I actually think of. So I really do like this. Not in the cards for me either on that one. But one that is in the cards along with Wolverine is, of course, the He-Man, of course, the Prince Adam. Got to pick up Prince Adam. He is going to be the exclusive there. We did also get an update from Mondo this week. It sounds like Battle Cat will be shipping out. Everybody should have that by the end of August. So I'm looking forward to that. I might even put my dogs side by side because it's about the same size as my dogs. I mean, that is going to be big. I'm not even sure where I'm going to put that. I got to get that figured out before that does come as well. But that should be a very, very cool figure. I can't wait to see that one when the time does come, and I'm sure we'll see that at San Diego Comic-Con as well, and I'm sure we'll see peeks into the future with some of the other stuff they got coming from He-Man. Man, oh man, an expensive line, but a very cool line. There's no doubt about that. Then we go over to NECA. NECA did announce some Turtle stuff, and I'm really excited for some of the booths there. Of course, you got McFarlane, Jazwares, Mattel, Super 7, but I'm very excited also to see NECA, as they always have a cool setup for all the toy lines I love, of course, and we love. But the Turtles lineups are always really cool at these kind of things, so I can't wait to see some of this. But they did solicit some of the upcoming ones from the last Ronin wave, Raphael and Curry? You know what I mean, but we do got her coming as well. So we got 2 new figures coming in the last Ronin wave. Should be good, should be exciting for the Turtle fans that are big fans of the last Ronin. So much more to come from Turtles next week as well, there's no doubt about it. And then finally this week on Toy News, looking at some of this stuff, McFarlane Toys coming in hot, and I'm not even going to read them all now because I couldn't even keep track of them all. They have so many different exclusives for San Diego Comic-Con with McFarlane, it just makes your head spin. But we do have a crazy artist kind of Superman version. And then you got like a black and white Superman as well. You got a Batman Nightfall 30th anniversary that looks really good. A glow-in-the-dark Green Lantern. You got some Entertainment Earth Blacklight exclusives. You got artist-proof exclusives in Entertainment Earth. You got the Spawn Throne exclusives, 2 different versions there. He has so many exclusive figures, it really makes your head spin. Another Green Lantern, old classic Green Lantern one. And who knows what else we might see. But McFarlane coming in very, very hot. Todd McFarlane has a lot of autograph sessions, things like that. I'm not big about meeting celebrities for the most part. I mean, there's obviously some people I want to meet in this world. And speaking of, 13 years ago today, these pictures were taken. I got to have that beautiful pizza with Mick Foley and my main man, Terry Funk. Oh, what a weekend of fun hanging out with those two. Never forget it. I can't believe it was 13 years ago, but I would love to meet Todd McFarlane. I would love to get a picture with Todd McFarlane. I would love to get a picture with Jeremy Padawer and thank him for the classic superstars, talk a little bit of that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens when I'm out there in, of course, California dealing with all them. Maybe I'll get a bump into those two. Maybe I'll get a picture with both of them. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, as they always do say. So there it is. There is a ton of toy news. I probably missed a few things. We'll circle back if it's important. And of course, like I said, San Diego Comic-Con next week. We are going to be bombarded with stuff. I don't know if I do like 4 different toy news videos. Do I do a toy news video about everything? Who knows what happens? I might even do stuff from the hotel room. We could do that. My worry is, and like I said, I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con. I have to imagine cell service, all that kind of stuff with all those people. Probably Wi-Fi probably sucks. Some cell service sucks. We'll see what ends up happening. But hey, if I'm waiting in line for an hour, I can sit there on my phone. I can edit a video. I can put something up there. I can put some shorts up. So we'll see what ends up happening out there at San Diego Comic-Con. But I'm very excited. Going to be a lot on a plate. I am going to be tired. There's no doubt about it. But all that info to come here in the future. And I guess we're going to close this off like we always do with Album of the Week. This week, the band Hellfire. The album, Reckoning. And we've talked about Hellfire before on the channel. Another one of those kind of new wave of traditional heavy metal bands. One of those early, younger metal bands that are out there doing the scene. They're going on tour with Haunt here in August. If they're coming to your area, check them out. But if you like a classic metal sound, and why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you like a classic metal sound? Definitely check out Hellfire. A favorite of the newer breed of heavy metal bands for me. Still on the underground kind of scene going out, but you never know what might happen. They might be the Metallica of the future. You never know. California band as well. So Hellfire, Reckoning. Check out that album this week if you've never heard it. So there you go. That is it. That's the toy news. We're gearing up for San Diego Comic-Con. Let me know what you're excited for. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are you going to San Diego Comic-Con? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you've made it this far. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. Don't forget about the Patreon, which supports all this kind of content we got on the channel every single day and then some. And we got tons of stuff over there. As I said, we got giveaways, Q&As, pizza reviews, you name it. It's all going up over there on the old Patreon channel. So stay tuned over there. Hit that on up. And like I said, best way to support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on Twitter. Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. And Threads, _Kyle_Peterson as well. So you know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling. Strutting and strolling my way into another weekend. And I'll see you guys all real soon.